Buongiorno, Habibi. This is just a little end of year video on the second channel to let all of you know that I will be taking a break over the Christmas holidays and a little bit into January. As far as like January goes, there'll only be three videos in January. The reason for that, there'll be three videos in January and there'll be little short ones like on the main channel. And the reason for that is the monetization's absolutely crap in January, so it's when everybody takes a break. It's like the only time of the year that YouTubers get a chance to take any time off. And I might upload on the second channel during that month as well. But for the Christmas holidays and for a little bit at the start of January, I'm going to be taking it easy and not doing any work because this is actually the first time that I've had time off all year. And my wife is 6 months pregnant now, and I've got a daughter, and I want to spend time with my family over Christmas, of all things. So I just want to have time with them, open presents, get drunk, get fat, and actually relax, which I've not done much of this year. But as for the year on the channel, the year's actually been very good. Main channel and the second channel, we're pumping out content. Some months get a little bit rough, especially when we've got a lot of big videos and everything coming out because the videos are now clocking in at over an hour pretty regularly. But it seems that people really enjoy that. So hey ho, I'm stuck doing that now. Nah, I'm kidding on. I enjoy doing it. But it's just to let people know about the plans for the future of the channel, because I've been a busy bee over the last year. Wife had a baby, got my wife pregnant again. I now run a company. I now have staff. I now have a building like for recording and everything like that. So it's yeah, I've been very busy and pumping out the content. The channel's been doing very well as well. We're not exploding. We're not exploding. I've noticed some channels like explode and get really big, but then they also crash and burn a lot faster. Whereas we've just had this long, slow, steady growth like over time, which is brilliant because that means that your channel's going to last a lot longer. And I'm happy about that because I want to keep doing this for as long as I possibly can because, for the first time in my life, I actually enjoy what I do for a living, which is rare. That's fucking rare. So I'm going to hold on to that for as long as I possibly can. But as for the future of the channel, Celtic Myths will still be here, even though it gets absolutely abysmal fucking views. Like no one watches that. I mean, some do, but not as much as I would like. It's actually got to the point where sponsors, whenever they ask to sponsor one of my videos, they say, but not Celtic Myths video, which, yeah, all right, fair enough. Mad Lads is here to stay. Mad Lads, I will do Mad Lads for as long as I possibly can, and history has given me absolutely no shortage of Mad Lads to do. I mean, next year, you might see Jonestown, you might see John Paul Jones, you might see a Roman emperor or two, or a certain Greek philosopher or something. There's loads of stuff that I can do. I can keep Mad Lads going as long as possible. As long as history keeps going, Mad Lads can keep going. But there's other stuff that I wanted to do as well, like other projects that I wanted to line up. Like for example, I wanted to do the North Coast 500. For anyone that's not heard of that, the North Coast Road is the big road that goes around, believe it or not, the North Coast of Scotland, and it's a big route that lots of people like plan out and make the trip, and you just drive along it, and then you stop at certain days. It's like a Route 66 type thing where you stop to see the giant ball of twine, except instead you're seeing some like ancient ruins and castles and lochs and mountains and all that type of stuff and lots of historical type places. And I planned on doing that trip. And I was going to get other YouTubers to like maybe come along with me, and I was just going to have a laugh as I go. Copper Cab, I wanted to do it with Copper Cab, where I would I would fuck with him and bully him the entire fucking time, uh, which would be yeah, I think that'd be entertaining. But there's other stuff as well. Like we've got a sketch show that we wanted to do. We have a fuck ton of stuff like written, sitting there, like waiting to go and all that. But it's a case of time. See, when you're doing 5 videos a month and some of them are clocking in at an hour, and plus you're doing like, well, at least trying to do like 2 daily uploads on the second channel. It's a case of getting time to actually go out and film it and like do the work. That's a little bit of a pain in the arse because we just keep writing these fully written scripts, dialogue, everything, and then they just sort of all sit in a Google Drive and we don't do anything with them. But we want to actually start filming a bunch of them, and we're going to compile it into one half-hour long show, We've got a title, working title. It's probably going to be the final title, but I'm not going to reveal too much information. But it might be we'll do an episode a year or something like that, and it's only going to be about half an hour long. I think that'd be a good laugh. It's not going to be world peace. I wish it was as good as world peace, but it's just something funny to do, just something to put in the channel, and I think people would enjoy that. But I mean, as for me, I've got a baby coming next year as well. Can't really talk about it too much just now, but baby's probably going to come a little bit early. It's complicated. I'll tell you about it later. But I'm going to be very busy next year, so I don't know if I can do the North Coast 500 or film the sketch show, but I mean, I want to. Hopefully, I'll have a bit of time. But obviously next year as well, once the baby's born, I'll need to take another little break because, well, my wife's not going to be able to do much. Plus, I've got a toddler at home and a baby to look after, so I might take a brief hiatus. But the problem is I can't take too long of a hiatus because I have staff in a business now, so I can't just stop working. Because everybody needs a wage. So I'm just letting you know what to expect, like going into next year. There'll be a couple of little breaks, but I'm hoping to just keep pumping out lots and lots of different content. Hopefully there'll be a lot more live shows this year. This year, 2022 was supposed to be. I mean, I've done shows in England. All my shows have been like down in England. I've done America as well. All of them were great. All of them went fantastic. And then I was supposed to this year have my first ever comedy show in Scotland. Where I'm actually from. A place where I could actually do my comedy show and then go home at the end of the night instead of having to go to some fucking Premier Inn and all that. And 2 days before I was due to go live, I fucking caught COVID. I caught COVID and I couldn't do the show. Not because of the fucking. I mean, COVID, it's not going to kill you, but it's still a flu. It still makes you feel like shit. And I wasn't at death's door or anything, but I was in no condition to go up. I couldn't even breathe through my nose, and nobody wanted to go on stage and listen to my jokes. That kind of affects your delivery a little bit. So I couldn't do the show, and I'm disappointed about that. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get something rescheduled. Maybe. The promoter was extremely upset that I pulled out. But I mean, I had COVID. What the fuck can I do? But yeah, next year is hopefully going to be just as action-packed as this one, with bigger videos and hopefully different types of content. I'm fucking talking about COVID and here I am coughing. Loads of different types of content as well. I mean, if the North Coast thing, if I can do that, I would absolutely love to do that. The problem is I'm then leaving my wife at home with 2 babies to look after. And feels a bit shit doing that so that I can go off gallivanting with my friends, but we'll wait and see. But we've had a good year. Well, I mean, the channel's had a good year. I've had a very, very fucking stressful year. No doubt fucking every single one of you watching this right now has as well. And 2023 probably isn't going to be much better. It's going to be shite. Government's going to fuck with us all the time. We're going to, I mean, well, I don't know. Things might be better. Elon Musk did buy Twitter, but he's dropped the ball quite a few times, hasn't he? I mean, I think I was right to keep my wait and see attitude. But yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes. But obviously the channel and me having a full studio and everything to produce videos and being able to do all these skits and all that type of stuff, it's all been because of every single one of you. It can be any one of you that even watches my videos with ad block on, all the way up to people that subscribe to the Patreon and buy merch and etc. etc. All of that beautiful, good and glorious stuff that I thank all of you very, very much for. And I hope every single one of you, from me and my family, have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And I hope all of you achieve your dream of being the racist uncle at the dinner table. But this is me for the end of the year, by the way. Right, this is me. I'm done now. There's going to be no second channel videos, but I've got a couple of videos lined up to go out in the main channel. But I will see all of you next year, and Merry Christmas.